Well, hello there and welcome back. In this exercise, we're going to continue looking at various techniques that you can use in your everyday workflow. These are primarily using Fireworks here. And in the previous exercise, we created a holder for an HD video or an MP4 video that is 720 by 480, and that's the image in here. And now what we're going to do is just sort of finish off this little part of the project. Now, one of the things I want to do is just add a little bit of, a little bit of extra to it, and I'm going to add a shadow. So I'm going to take the ellipse tool, and I'm just going to draw out a shadow, just very much like that, edge to edge, just like that. And then I'm going to fill it with black. Get rid of the stroke, don't need a stroke on it. And then I'm going to come over to the filters, and I'm just going to give it a really nice little Gaussian blur. See, a nice blur. Take the blur radius out a little bit. Click OK. And I'm also going to knock the opacity of this object. And I can do that by selecting it right here and pulling back the opacity. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to just slide it under here. So I'm going to take the ellipse, put it under these two pieces just like that. Lock them, and I've got a nice little shadow in here. Now what I'm going to do is bring in the player. And the player is a screenshot that I took of the strobe video player. I want to start using that a lot, so I took a screenshot of it. And I import the screenshot in. That's the player right there. Click open. And there's the place icon. Yeah, it looks pretty good, except for one little problem. I got a white edge right there. Not only that, if you check the specs, this thing is supposed to be 720 wide, but it's got to be 35 high. And I missed it by 3 pixels. I want this to be somewhat exact. So I got 2 problems here. One is this too thin, and I got a couple of pixels of black here. Well, we can fix all that. I'm going to zoom in on the player. Just bring it over. And I can do a couple of things. I can take the pencil tool and color these in, but I'm going to show you another little thing that you can do. If you try and crop anything on the Fireworks canvas, it just crops the canvas. But there is a way of cropping a selection. It's in the Edit menu. Right there, Crop Selected Bitmap. So I'm just going to pull this off. Just pull it in a little bit so I just got that solid black. You can see that I got it. There it is. Done. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to zoom out just a couple of clicks here just so I can see my player. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply take the rectangle tool, and I'm going to just draw out a little rectangle, and I want that rectangle to be 720, 35, so I know it's exactly the size it's supposed to be. There we go. And you can see there it is above the player, so if I just pull it into place, it's going to be a little bit big. But that's okay, because I can just switch their order here by pulling the rectangle under the bitmap. Now what I can do is select the rectangle or the bitmap and just move it into position. And now that it's in position and it looks pretty good, I'm going to select these two and I'm going to flatten them into one object. So I just come up here and I just flatten it. Okay, so that's just an object. It's something I'm going to be using a lot. I'm going to be creating a lot of these, and I want them to. I want the developer to know that there's going to always be a strobe playback component in here. So I put the component where I want it, and because I'm going to be doing a lot of these, I don't want to be constantly placing and futzing around with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click on the object. I'm going to convert it to a symbol. I'm going to make it a graphic symbol. It's just going to be an object, and I'm going to call it strobe. And if I click Save to Common Library and click OK, it will actually go into a Custom Symbols folder. And if I go to the Window menu, Common Library, Custom Symbols, there's strobe, and I can just pull it out of the library. And there it is. And I can constantly reuse this graphic. If you are working with mobile and you've got little bits and pieces that you want to constantly use, this is a really good place to start. Okay, so I've got that in there in the custom library, and it's pretty well almost ready to go. What I need to do now is just finish it off. I want to bring in the logo, add a little bit of text, and I'm also going to show you how to do a button. And I'm going to save that for the next example. I'll see you there.